Hey folks, this is John, and I have a few suggestions. I think that if we follow suggestions, we can actually stop police brutality and murder. I mean, we can cut it down 80%. And there's simple steps that must be followed if we're gonna reduce this crime. I mean, people say, we march, we cry, we scream, we argue, we kill some, still not stopping this train of police murder, brutality against black people and any people, but mostly black people. All right. And if these steps are followed, it's almost a guarantee to reduce it 80%. And the first step we must do, actually, no one's going to stop doing anything if they're not accountable. And that's the problem. We got to make police accountable for their wrongs, accountable for their errors, as in any business or any type of organization. When someone's wrong out of line, if you don't fire them, you fine them. You fine them and set fines for inappropriate behavior. And that's what they do in the NFL, all the sports, anywhere. They fine people. And you'll find that finding people will actually be a big deterrent than simply yelling, screaming and yelling and hollering. Because one thing that changed people's lives and changed their heart is their pocketbook, is their wallet. If you hit cops in their wallet, and I'm not saying just find them arbitrarily, so let's find them for false police reports, which they all do. Let's find them for using inappropriate holds, choke holds, which they do. Let's find them for pulling out their revolver without any kind of provocation, which they do. And let's find them for shooting without any man being armed or showing a man a threat. And if they're scared, there's no reason to fire if you're afraid. Because if you're a police officer, you're trained for that situation. This is something you're in every day. So you can't act like me or someone that's not trained for a situation to start blazing my gun when I'm afraid. These professional people that are out there every day doing this. So the reason they fire because they want to fire. So let's start finding them that amount of money. So let's find them $1,500 for a false report. Watch it go away. Let's find them $2,500 to put their hand or arm around someone's throat. Watch that go away. Let's find them $5,000 for pulling up their gun inappropriately. I mean, with no reason other than their own anger. Let's do 5,000. Let's find them up to 10 to 50 to $100,000 for discharging their weapon without a cause. Let's find them, and you what they will start thinking about not only for the person's safety, but they have to be thinking about their own. Am I acting too rashly? Am I moving too quickly? Some people may say, that will stop the police from pulling a gun out of time. There's no problem with that. They are pulling their guns out 100 times. If one or twice that they get fined inappropriately or be charged inappropriately, that's fine. But still, it's 98 times they will not pull the gun out for no reason. 98% of the time, the cops don't have to kill nobody. They don't have to. So if we find them and let them be responsible for their own error, then you watch how much they're going to start thinking instead of reacting. And that's what they're doing, reacting on that part. Right now, if a cop's shooting me or beat somebody or break somebody and we sue them, the same people that suing them pays their fine. The cop is not penalized a dime. They don't pay nothing. If they got a $5 million lawsuit, guess what? That cop still get his check, and there's no deterrent from he's not doing it again and again because there's no accountability. They got to be accountable. That police officers now have to go to jail, the same jail they threaten everyone else with. They do stuff heinous, even more heinous crimes than the people, and they're not even going to jail, not doing any time. You got to stop that. They have to be accountable for what they do. If they've committed a crime if they commit a crime, they have to get punished, not slapped on the hand 10 times and put back on police force. That's no deterrent. That's why you got cops now. They got 14 to 15 different charges against them and still working. So what kind of deterrent is that? They still get their retirement. There's no deterrent. Also, when they're out there, you have to do something that police officers that they don't do for police officers. You have to actually check them for drugs. I'm telling you now, I believe 50% or more are on steroids and all kind of drugs that bulk them up, to make them bigger and make them people more afraid about their bulk. But steroids is a drug that kills your mental. It turns you to a wild dog, an animal. And this is why they're so quick to be aggressive. Instead of talking it out or trying to find ways around issues, de-escalate. They come in escalating every issue when that drug kicks in. But no one want to check them for drugs. Why don't police officers have drug tests? Why? I mean, why do they have to have drug tests? If you shoot some, you know what? If I'm at my job and I slip and I fall, the first thing they take is a drug test from me to make sure I was not under any kind of influence. So when police officers shoot somebody, why can't they take a drug test to see if they was under any kind of influence? I mean, they're around drugs all the time. It's a stressful job. Most police officers beat their wives, are terrible husbands, beat their wives and family out of stress. So to relieve stress, either you're going to drink or you're going to take drugs. So why don't they test them for drugs? I'll tell you why. Because they're finding half of them on drugs. So if you do those steps I did, make them accountable, find them, and drug test police, I guarantee that knock off at least 70% of them. The last of all, is every police officer should have a lie detector test. A lie detector test, even though it's not admissible in court, it's still used today. For the fact, a lie detector, you cannot hide hatred through a lie detector. You cannot hide bigotry. You cannot hide. There's strong emotions that you have about someone. So every police officer that's out there policing this country, which is a multiracial country, should have a lie detector test, and it should ask them: do you hate minorities? Do you hate black people? Do you hate Indian people? Do you hate Hispanic people? If they hate any people, they should not be a police officer, because these are people they got to deal with. If they do hate people, they should go back and get retrained and learn about the people that they hate and understand, because most hate is ignorance. So you take those 4 steps, I guarantee you that police murder will drop down 80, 90%. I guarantee you that they have a better working relationship with the people. I guarantee you that the cops won't be hated, because they hate people want to like cops, but you can't. They keep murdering people. You know, there's a video in Japan. A guy had a knife, and 4 cops was down here, a big machete, and the 4 cops in front of him. He charged, they backed up. He charged, they backed up. So he kept swinging the machete. A cop came from behind, threw a net over him, and the net covered him. They all went in, took the machete out of his hand, took him to jail. Now, if that was the United States, he's been dead 29 times already, because they don't believe about de-escalating. They don't believe in shooting in the arm, the leg, tasing. What they believe is shoot a person in the heart and the head, just like the common thug. And then we want to call ourselves a civilized nation. We're the most uncivilized nation in the Western Hemisphere. We're uncivilized. No, cops are uncivilized beasts. So if we do those 4 things, we clear them out, retrain them, and have a better police force. But know why what I said won't happen? I'm going to tell you why it won't happen. Not that people don't understand. I'm not that smart. I know people thought about that already. But it won't happen because you got to start from the leadership on down. And the leadership themselves are on drugs. Leadership themselves are racist. These themselves are not worthy. So if they know to implement these steps, they'll be disqualifying their own self. And that's why it won't happen. But until that happens, it's not going to be any better. We've been crying for 50 years. We should overcome and all that singing, and they still shooting us up. And you know the sad part about it is that the video now is capturing these cops planting guns and lying and making all kind of false statements. The video is catching that. But my God, how about the people that didn't have videos? How many men died on the street laying there bleeding to death, knowing they haven't done anything? But yet these cops are just murdering them and then planting a gun and saying, he attacked me. I went for my gun. He did this. They're lying right now. Even in the video, they're lying. So imagine when there wasn't a video, how many people died in vain under the police when the police have you in captive. I mean, how many people died? If you notice one thing, in the 60s, you had a lot of KKK marches. They were coming to the city, recruiting, coming to KKK. You don't see that anymore. You don't see that anymore. Rarely you see the KKK. Know why? Because the FBI said the KKK is now in the police departments. The KKK is in the police. Because as long as you're white, you can be a police officer, even if you're mentally unbalanced. So if you do those things, I guarantee you, police murder, police crime, police brutality would decrease 80% if you do those 4 things. Drug test them, fine them, drug test them, fine them, make them make them accountable with their cash, and jail them. That'll change everything. And that's the truth right there.